The Watchtower claims that Jesus was the first created spirit being, otherwise known as Michael the Archangel. They use Proverbs 8:22, Colossians 1:15, and Revelation 3:14 as their texts, which I have videos that refute that claim. Once you see that Jesus was not created, then he cannot be Michael the Archangel, because all angels were created. Pretty simple. In Daniel chapter 10, verse 13, is a really good text, because we see that Michael the Archangel was not the chief prince, but only one of them. Thus that proves that he's not superior in any way. In 1 Thessalonians 4:16, sometimes they use this reference: "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel." David Reed gives an excellent answer for this. Quote, "If using an archangel's voice makes the Lord an archangel, then having God's trumpet makes him God." Jude verse 9 says, "Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he didn't dispute about the body of Moses, but said to the devil, 'Hey, the Lord rebuked thee.'" Yet Jesus did rebuke the devil, thus proving that Jesus was not just Michael the archangel, but that he was superior to him. But consider how absurd the Watchtower presents Jesus. First, he's a spirit being, then he creates everything else, then he's no longer a spirit being, but a perfect man. The problem is, any spirit, it doesn't matter if it's man or angel, when they are created, it's eternal. We can prove this because there's good angels and there's bad angels. And notice that the bad angels, as punishment, are sent to hell. If a spirit ceases to exist, then why was hell created to house them? That would not make any sense. When Jesus was casting out devils, they saw him say, "Whoa, please do not torment us before the time." The only way you can be tormented is if you exist. Now, if he became a perfect man for 33 years, then was recreated according to Jehovah Witnesses as Michael the Archangel, then would he still have memory of who he was? So what I'm going to do is simply look at the first chapter of Hebrews. Look at a few verses and a few points to prove that Jesus is not Michael the Archangel. First, his name is superior to theirs. In verse 4, if Jesus was an angel, then the text would have said, "So he became as much superior to all other angels." In fact, Philippians chapter 2, verses 8 through 11, gives us the reason for his name being superior. And then consider that Jesus is the only begotten Son of God. Now, angels have been called sons of God, but there's a difference between a son of God and the Son of God. That's why the New World Translation is in error in Matthew chapter 4 when devil tempted Jesus, said, "If you are a son of God." That's not a temptation, for any angel would be considered a son of God. But he said, "If you are the Son of God." Just with one letter, look at the mistake that the New World Translation makes, and also in John 1:1. In verse 5, it talks about Jesus being God's Son. In verse 6, it talks about worship. It says, "Let all God's angels worship him." And yet, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 4, verses 8 through 10, "Get thee behind, Satan. You must worship the Lord your God and serve him only." I mean, why would Jesus say you must worship God, but then God said to the angels, "You must worship my Son"? That would be a contradiction. Hebrews 1:8 says, "But unto the Son he says, your throne, O God, will last forever and ever." You know, when God the Father calls you God, then here's the punchline: you're God. By the way, the New World Translation makes no sense. It says, "But with reference to the Son, God is your throne forever." Makes no sense. Verse 13 speaks of the position of sitting on a throne. If this was referring to Michael, the archangel, God would have said to which of the other angels, not to which of the angels did God ever say. So here's my final question. If Jesus was Michael the archangel, why does the book of Hebrews never say to which of the other angels on the following points I brought up? If Jesus was just Michael the archangel, then he would have said that. But because he's superior to the angels, that means he can't be an angel.